for your tireless and fearless pursuit of the facts, for your unwavering resolve to tell the truth, for your tenacity and your resilience, for your dedication to education, our hui and so many others, for your poise and brilliance, one of my favorite factors. With deep gratitude and aloha, mahalo nui loa. Babe, when you read this one.
Totally is perpetuated in righteousness.
But I meant in Hawaiian. No, wait. Where's my friend Dee, who's also here? Dee, come here. Come on, Dee.
And somebody tell the group, Dee came all the way from San Diego, and I want you to know she was our archaeologist extraordinaire. Well,
When the other archaeologist wouldn't put his name on anything, we got my friend Dee to do so, to speak our truth. Here, you read it.
she actually did graduate work in Hawaii, and she's very well skilled on Hawaiian archaeology. And she, you know, a lot of times developers go to an area and they kind of forget about looking for those archaeologic relics and the special areas that we need to preserve. Dee knew Mahaulepu, and Terry said, wait, we know someone who might be willing to help. And I called her, and she came all the way from the mainland. And then she surprised us last week and said, you know what, I'm coming for the party. Yes! So that was so great of her.
Well, thank you, Bridget, Terry, Uncle Billy, everyone. And I would also have to say that a lot of the information also came from Native Hawaiians who shared their knowledge with us. So we have to acknowledge all of that as well. And what they'd like me to read is Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono, which Billy said, the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. And that's for Bridget.
Okay, we're going to have some more music. And Cindy Combs is here with her wonderful slack key guitar. And Auntie Nani Rogers, a real wonderful, wonderful woman from the islands, and a treasure, a true treasure of our Hawaiiana and our Kauai, will dance for us. So please stay and watch her. And without our team, all of you, this couldn't have been done. But this is our, like I said, our modern day David and Goliath story. And we have done it. We've kept this ocean water blue. Yes! Many of you have been asking, what now? You know, we still have a little bit in our treasury, and people want to know, so what's next? Some people said, we want to protect more. Well, as you know, when we were studying the dairy, one of the issues was they were going to give that industrial dairy 3 million gallons a day from the Waitau Reservoir. And we were doing our research. Eileen is a great researcher, a great helper. And we're saying, wait a minute, 3 million gallons a day. I know the Waitau is the biggest reservoir in the state, but how much longer can it sustain if it's giving out at that rate? So we started to look and see. They wouldn't answer our question, by the way. Where's the water coming from? That was in my comment. Where's the water coming from? That was in a number of people's comments. What's going to replenish the Waitau? As we studied it, we came across a problem we have in Kauai that we're now trying to fix. It's our next issue. And believe it or not, I told Jay, it's okay. We'll retire after this one. Really, we will, Jay, we will. And he said, okay, kid, do it. And so he's in support of us, and he's a wonderful man. I mean, as you all know, without Jay Kitchlowian, we wouldn't be where we are today because he stepped up with $100,000. Yes! And he said, Bridget, if you can match this in 60 days, wasn't that what he gave us, Eileen? 60 days. He said, Bridget, you go match this, and you can take it out of my wallet. So I had to go find another 100. And we did. with all of your help, and Poipu Kai stepped up with 40,000. That was a big gift. We had several big community members that donated big gifts, and it was just fabulous, and it got us rolling. So we looked for where that water's coming from, and what we learned, sadly, is that for years, when the sugar plantations were in operation for thousands and thousands of acres, they would do furrow field flooding, and they would draw from streams and fill ditches and carry the water to the sugar. Many of us probably assumed that when sugar ended, the streams weren't being tapped at the same rate they were. What we learned is they not only are being tapped at that same rate and more, but they're banking water in the Kauai Reservoir in Waiahi and in the Waitau Reservoir. So we found the water from Wailua, from Waialeale Stream, Waikoko Stream, all the beautiful streams coming off Mount Waialeale. That water, it can be ditched all the way into Koloa, into Mahaulepu, in the Waitau Reservoir. And that's why the Waitau Reservoir today has over 3.9 billion gallons in it. It's actually something that the dam safety people in DLNR are worried about. And we're trying to work with them because we're worried about it too. Because they're still diverting at that rate, and there are part of our island interests, grow farm operations saying, no, we need it. And I'm saying, if you really needed it, why is so much of it sitting in a reservoir? Why is it building and building and growing in earthen reservoirs? Well, Waitau is only 23 feet high on its banks. So it's not a tall earthen reservoir, but it has a massive amount of water in it. If it goes, it'll be a much bigger disaster than Koloko. So that's one of our projects, is to kind of get the stream flow issue straightened out. And we're working right now with the State Board of Land and Natural Resources, with the Commission on Water Resource Management. And as Jay will tell you, Hope Kauai and I and others have been over testifying to the ledge, and we're making our presence known. We're saying, okay, take what you need, but leave what you don't need. The Hawaiians taught us that a long time ago, and leave the base flow. And we have to leave the base flows, because that, as Don Haycock taught me, our fisheries biologist for the island of Kauai, and Don's here. Anybody who wants to learn a little bit more about this issue, stop and see Uncle Don before you leave. He's wonderful. He's been on island forever, and he knows all of our streams. He's protected our hono. He's taken trapped sea creatures back out to sea, and he's just a great guy. But he said, if the stream health and the health of the nearshore waters are based on leaving the base flow in the streams. And so I'm happy to report that with our work in the last quarter of 2018, we got a very historic ruling from the Department of Land and Natural Resources, December 14th, 2018. And they looked at KIUC and Grow Farm and said, okay, we hear you, but guess what? You need to leave a minimum of 4 million gallons daily in Waialeale Stream, and you need to leave a minimum of 1.6 million gallons daily in Waikoko Stream. And that ended 100 years of 100% base flow diversions. And this is our challenge and our work. We're going to try to restore more stream flow and trying to make sure it's permanently restored. That the dam diversions are better cared for people that have been up on the mountain. They're in very poor disrepair. Their revocable permits that they hold that can be ended at any day by the land board are in very bad shape. Rebar is sticking up into the air. There's wire mesh floating out. There's trash all around from the workers that go back to move boulders out of ditches. They're not doing what their RP says they have to do. So that's what's next on Friends of Mahaulepu's agenda. And anybody that's at all interested in getting the emails on what I'm now referring to as our water hui, and by the way, for those who might wonder, when Friends of Mahaulepu was constituted, our 501c3 was drafted very broadly by our attorneys, that we were a grassroots group of citizens interested in protecting the environment of the island of Kauai. So it'll include the water. And please, if you don't sign up today, just email me. Let me know you want to get the water hui. I don't want to bother people if they don't want, but if you want, I'll take you step by step through our fight. It's going to be a tough one. We've got big corporations in this too, but for now, we're going to go back to celebrating that we really did beat 2 billionaires.
Just very, very quickly, the sign up that Bridget just talked about for the water information, there's a table just to my left outside of the entrance, and please print your name and your email address in there and you'll be on the list. And the other thing is, for those of you who didn't hear me earlier, we are asking you all to take photographs, and when you do, email them please to FOM, which we know stands for Friends of Mahaulepu, that's how you remember it. FOM Celebrates, with an S on the end. FOMcelebrates@gmail.com. Send us your pictures, please.